Well, that's a wrap on homeschool year 2022-2023. We are done with our fourth quarter, and today I want to take you through our quarter four kind of wrap up and what our plans are for summer. Hey guys, welcome back to my Practically Imperfect Life. My name's Abby, homeschooling mom of 2 high schoolers. And today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how we wrapped up quarter four of our homeschool year and what our plans are going into the summer. So you may have noticed I haven't posted a whole bunch in the month of May. I think I've gotten like 1 video out a week, and that is really just because May has been a super busy month for us. The weather finally turned nice in Indiana, and we had a massive number of outdoor and gardening projects that we just had to tackle. And so the whole family has been involved. We have revamped garden beds. We have installed new gardens. We have been moving gravel and dirt and putting in new plants and getting all of the seed starts that were in the corner of our homeschool room are now all out and growing in the garden. This was kind of a part of my daughter's final botany project too. Like she was helping with like planting and placing and things like that. And so we have just been so super busy with that, and it just didn't leave very much time for filming. But I will have multiple videos coming out for you. I did one on creating a transcript. I know I've talked about transcripts in a video in the past, but actually walking you through like how I made mine. And then I will also in that video be showing you kind of what our transcripts look like minus the grades, as well as our NCAA course paperwork that I've been working on, showing you kind of what that looks like and writing course descriptions and things like that. So I've got that video still coming out this month. I also have a video coming out talking about the 2 different types of literature programs we use in high school. You know, my son does BJU. He plans to mostly use BJU through high school. My daughter has done excellence in literature her freshman year, and we're moving back to that again in her junior year. And I wanted to just kind of compare the 2 programs, show you the differences between them and why it is that I do 2 different curriculum programs for my kids. Because some people are like, well, why don't you just use the same one for both? Well, I'm going to talk about that in that video. So I have that coming up. And then we are going to give you a garden tour. From the homeschooling standpoint, this was a big part of my daughter's botany project. Plus, I just really love my garden. It is my happy place. It is where I spend so much of my time in the summer. And I thought maybe I'll just give you guys some ideas on how you can kind of get things started in your own homes. And I feel like gardening is just one of those great life skills, right? And life skills are homeschooling, right? I mean, we should want to teach different life skills to our kids. That's the benefit of having them home with us all the time. And there's just something wonderful about starting things, you know, from seed and getting them in the ground and taking care of them and then harvesting that stuff and preserving it. I mean, there's just so much that can be learned there. And we all know there's multiple benefits to being outdoors and everything. So we're just really excited to kind of see that progress over the summer. We might give you some update tours too, maybe like once a month, just kind of show you how things are progressing in the garden, because it will look wildly different in a month's time from now. Wildly different. And just excited to share that journey along with you. Another cool update is my oldest got her driver's license. Yay! Here in Indiana, you have to wait 90 days after you turn 16. So the day she could go, we went and got her license. And then that afternoon, we actually went and signed for a car for her. So she has a vehicle to drive and she has her license. My mom heart is like just torn, because at the same one time I'm really nervous, right? I know she's a good driver, but there are a lot of not so great drivers out there, and I worry about them more than her. So we do have some kind of restrictions in place, like we don't want her driving out late at night yet. There are certain like highways and sections of highways we want her to avoid, at least for the first couple of months, just until she's gotten a little more comfortable with things and, you know, is used to her vehicle and everything. You guys probably all have those areas in your town, you know, the ones where you're like, that highway is a death trap. And I was like, yeah, no, we're going to avoid those. So that's kind of how we work on that. Yes, she is working. Yes, she's required to pay for her own gas and her own car insurance. That is part of how our family does things. We provide the vehicle, but to us, driving is a privilege. It's not a right. And so they do need to kind of shore up and own some of the responsibility for having that right to drive. And so that is insurance and that is their gas. Now, repair work on the car, oil changes, tires, things like that, we will take care of. But we do want them to take some ownership of that, because once they go off to college and they turn 18, those cars will get signed over to them, and then they're responsible for all of that. So I do want them to, start, feeling that responsibility for their vehicle. It's up to them to maintain that vehicle and keep it nice and take care of it and drive safely, so their car insurance doesn't go through the roof and things like that. So she's actually, she had her first car insurance payment ready for me. So she gave it to me like the day we got the car. So that way that was all covered and taken care of. But it has been really nice. Like the first day, I remember I was like, text me when you get there and text me when you leave, and where exactly are you going, and don't let anybody text you while you're driving, and all this stuff. And then the next day I was like, so we're out of eggs. Could you like run to the store for me and like go pick up some? So it'll just be nice. It's going to give her a little more freedom for sure to be able to, go out to her golf lessons. And she does a lot of golfing in the summer. But, she's been able to go and meet up with friends and things like that. And, it's just that next step, right? It's that next step. And so my mom heart's a little torn here. And then at the same time, my youngest turns 15 in June, and he starts his driver's ed in July. And then I get to turn around and I get to teach another one how to drive. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm more nervous to teach him or if I was more nervous to teach her. So we'll see how it goes. So I told him no racing in my cars. So we'll see. Now, as far as how our curriculum went for Q4, I mentioned in the Q3 update we would be finishing up some subjects early, and we definitely did that. In fact, the last 2.5 weeks or so, the kids really were only finishing up literature, their history courses, and my daughter was finishing up her botany course from Guest Hollow, and chemistry. But we wrapped things up pretty quickly. Like at one subject would just drop off and we would just keep going, and then the next subject would drop off, and so on and so forth. And so it definitely made our homeschool days much shorter near the end, which was perfect. The weather is gorgeous. The kids are out and doing all kinds of things outdoors, bike riding, golfing. So a couple of updates. So my son finished his Dave Ramsey courses, and he did a college prep and career readiness bundle course. So he was learning about planning for college and saving for college and how to graduate from college debt-free. And then things like writing a resume, doing an interview, doing career assessments. Now, somebody commented on a video that I did about those courses and said that some of the links weren't working anymore. So I did some deep diving and I looked, and Dave Ramsey has updated several of those courses. They're similar, they just have different names and are set up slightly different. So they have a College 101 bundle, which I will link down below, and that really covers kind of what he did in the college prep course. The idea of how to get ready for college, whether that's choosing certain courses or testing and types of colleges to go to, and then how to go to college and graduate debt-free. So I will link that course down below for you. They also revamped their career one. It is now called, let's see if I have the name down here, Foundations in Career Discovery. So it's another foundations course. Again, it's an online course. So I will link that one. And then I saw that they added one, and it's Foundations in Entrepreneurship. So how to get started as, being self-employed or business owner or things like that. So I'm going to take a look at that course actually, because we really like the Dave Ramsey courses, and that might be a cool elective to do with the kids sometime in the future. So that's a little update on the Ramsey courses, but my son did like them. I mean, it was one of those courses that he'd actually spend more time on than what we kind of allotted. We had him doing like 20 minutes, 3 days a week, and he would just be on it for a while because he really wanted to learn these concepts. So I thought that was cool. It showed that he has an interest in his financial future, which I think is fantastic. The other update is on Apologia's American Literature. So my daughter did Apologia American Literature this year. I loved this course. I think this course is great. It is definitely college preparatory. It gives really good background information on the different types of works that you're doing. It takes you through different things chronologically. It includes a good mix of poems and short stories and, famous documents, and then a really good selection of novels. Just gives really good examples of different types of American literature. And then there's the student notebook that she had where she was answering questions, like reading comprehension questions. The tests were included in that notebook and everything like that. So I noticed that when I went to go ahead and order another notebook to have one set aside for my son, because he'll do this course sometime in the future, is that on christianbooks.com, the student notebook, was on sale for 99 cents. 99 cents. So if you are interested in this course, go over to Christian Books. 99 cents for the student notebook. I was like, shoot, I'm going to get that. But that also got me thinking, if you see something on sale for that low of a price, that usually means that the curriculum company might be getting ready to update that program or discontinue it sometime in the future. So I looked on the Apologia site, and the textbook is still available at its regular price. But if you are interested in this course, I would probably encourage you to consider purchasing it soon. That way you can get the book, you can get access to the online things on the Apologia website. That's where all your answer keys are. You put a code in that you get inside the textbook into the Apologia site, and you'll get the answer keys to all of the comprehension questions and all of the tests. But I mean, shoot, 99 cents, guys, for a student notebook. So I would totally recommend checking those out. I'll link them down below for you. But it's a fantastic course. I mean, really fantastic course. And we're definitely doing it with my son when he gets to American literature there. And sorry, I'm glancing down at my little notes here to make sure I don't miss anything. Now, on my son's side, for literature, we finished Unit 6 of the BJU program. We got through that. That actually was a really short unit, so he got through it super fast. So we did another novel study, and I wanted him to have kind of a final project for the novel study, but I didn't want to do another test, or a paper, because he did the big research paper for cultural geography. He got that done, did a really nice job on it. So I found I think this was on Teacher Pay Teachers, but it was instructions for something called the Big Book Project. And it was, it's designed for like a regular classroom. They're like these big poster board size. Like you take a poster board and you fold it in half, you make a big book. And then inside you have pages that have different aspects that you're supposed to do, or different pieces of the project you're supposed to do. There's like a collage about the protagonist, a collage about the antagonist. There's a newspaper article that you write. I mean, there's just different types of assignments in there. None of them are, crazy extensive, but it's like 7 pieces that go together to create this big book project. Now, I didn't have him do like a giant poster board book. I thought, well, that's if you were displaying it like in a classroom, right? Or if you're doing like a co-op and you wanted to have something. So what I did is I had him do it on just regular 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, and we put that in a binder, and that was his big book project. But it was a fun way to kind of wrap up the year and to wrap up that novel study. It was pretty low key. He just worked on one piece of it every day for about a week, turned it in. If I can find it, I will link that down below for you. Like I said, it was a download. It had all of the instructions. It had a grading rubric and everything. So we just did that, and that was how we wrapped up literature for him. So on to some summer plans. Now, as far as formal school goes, no, we don't do any of that in the summer. We do take the summer off. We are busy people in the summer. We have golf tournaments like multiple days during the week that the kids are doing. We have a whole bunch of camping trips. My daughter and I, her troop is super involved in camping. We have a camping trip. We're going up to Picture Rocks, the National Lake Shore in Michigan for a camping trip. We have a backpacking trip, where you haul all of your gear, hike multiple miles. We have one of those trips coming up. In July, we have a 10-day trip to Europe with her troop. I'm so excited for this trip. I got a chance to go to Europe when I was in high school. I went with my German class, and we did like Switzerland, Austria, Germany, kind of a tour of that. Their trip, we are going to be in London for a few days, Paris for a few days, Lucerne, and Munich. And we're going to be seeing so many different things. It's going to be a blast. I mean, it'll be her with a bunch of her friends, and then I'm pretty close friends with the other chaperones on the trip. So it'll be just a really fun girls trip. We have a couple of girls who are going on the trip who took French all through high school. So when we are in Paris, it'll be neat so they can utilize that. And then Emma and I, with us having studied German, we will be there to help translate when we are in Germany and in Switzerland. So I will try to vlog as much as I can while we are on that trip and share that with you, because I just think it's going to be an amazing experience. I'm so excited. And she is too. Like, all of the girls are just jazzed up for that trip. The other thing that the kids are doing this summer is an aerospace rocket course. So this is an elective that was offered by one of the basketball coaches for the teams that we play on. They actually started back in April, and it will go all the way through summer. They meet twice a month, and on one of the meeting dates, it's a build date. So they learn about a certain type of rocket, and then they build it. And I mean, and these aren't like your pop bottle rockets. These are like real cool rockets. They bring that home, they can paint it, decorate it, and then the second meeting is launch day, and they go out to a local YMCA out in the field, and they do multiple launches of the rockets, checking things like how straight does it fly, how high does it go, how far away does it land, and things like that, and kind of competing back and forth with the other students. They have done 2 launches so far. They love it. They love this course. And I wasn't even sure they'd be interested in initially. Like, the coach had emailed out about it. And so I asked the kids about it, and they were like, oh my gosh, yeah, we want to do this. We want to do this. And it's just been really fun for them. They have brought home their rockets from the build dates. They're showing them to me, telling me about it. How is it different from the one they built previously? They've gotten really into like decorating it. Like the last lunch, my daughter painted hers to look like Spider-Man because she's Spider-Man obsessed. And one of the other kids in the group had painted his to look like the Green Goblin. And so like for her, it was like, will Spider-Man beat the Green Goblin? And it has just been a really cool elective. So, you know, I don't know if this is like a formal course that this guy bought and then is teaching from, or if he is just utilizing his knowledge and experience to teach it to the kids. You know, and we paid a certain fee for the supplies and things like that. But this is the kind of thing that I love about homeschooling, because I never would have thought to do a rocket course with the kids, like never. It's not in my wheelhouse of things that I would know how to teach or do, or would have even said, yeah, let's do that as an elective. But I'm so excited that somebody brought that opportunity up, and this will give my kids a chance to get exposed to that and try it out. And they have just loved it. So they will do that twice a month through the summer. I am going to give them credit for it, because they are learning quite a bit about, you know, aerospace science and the rocket building. So I've got to think about how I want to term it, but I'll probably put it in as like a semester credit for them, given the amount of time that they're putting in for it. So, but that'll be fun. I'm really excited for that. Other than that, we are doing a major revamp of this homeschool room. So I did a homeschool room tour at the beginning of the year last year. I think I talked in another video about it, but the room needs to be like completely redone in terms of how we have things organized. We have been using this space for about 2 years now, and I don't know, like, you know, you just need to tweak things as things evolve, right? We need to create a better space for where we're going to be growing things. We thought about keeping some things down here under the grow lights year round, you know, some house plants, maybe keeping like fresh lettuce and stuff like that going. Or there might be plants we want to bring in and like try to winter over. So we need a better space for that. I also need to revamp all of my bookcases, because I have so many books, guys, and now we're starting to get stacks like on the floor in places, and yeah. And you might say, well, why don't you just get rid of some of the ones you don't need? Oh, no. I need all of them. So we just need to rework this space. So I will probably take you along as I work on that, because it'll be a pretty major change to the setup. Like, I know that now. But now that the school year is done, I'm actually starting to kind of like pull things out and start to just kind of look at the space. So the whole room, like this corner of the room, still looks decent, right? Because I need a place to film. But I have kind of a mess going on down here as I pull everything away so I can start shifting furniture around and whatnot. But we'll show you how that all goes out. And I think, honestly, that is probably about it for our Q4 wrap up. We had a good end to the year. We stayed focused. We finished all of our curriculum all of the way. And that is always one of my goals. If I'm going to buy it, we're going to finish it. So we finished up our curriculum, and just really happy with how things all played out this year. So keep your eyes open. We'll have the transcript update video coming out. We will have the BJU Lit versus the Excellence in Literature comparison video coming out, and we will have a garden tour video coming out for you soon. So let me know down below in the comments, how did your school year end up for you? What were some of your highlights of the year? What did you enjoy the most? Are there things that you learned that you want to tweak for next year? And all in all, have a wonderful summer, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.